Hello and welcome to another episode of the You'll Never Talk Alone podcast, brought to you by LFC Transfer Room. Hello, Damon. How are you doing, buddy?
I'd say good evening, but where you are, it's not evening, it's evening here. I'm a bit bored, if I'm honest. It's been international break. I'm bored of watching international football. I need Liverpool football. I need the Reds back. I need Premier League football back, if I'm honest. It's a couple of days left of international football. This is Monday right now, Monday night over here in the UK. Obviously, it'll be afternoon time over where Rigo is. And there's still 2 more days of international football left, and we're back into club football. So yes, I'm a little bit excited this week.
Yeah, definitely. After starting 4 matches in the Premier League, and then boom, off immediately international break kind of puts a damper on things. But luckily, a lot of our Reds are doing well on international break. We'll dive right into that. I neglected to say my name. My name is Rigo, of course. I'm one of your hosts here for the You'll Never Talk Alone podcast. Thank you guys for hopping on board with us. Please make sure to like and subscribe as well. We want to make this your number one destination for fan-driven conversation and entertainment on the Liverpool FC side.
Hey, if you are enjoying this podcast, there's some things you can do to help. Leave a review and rate it 5 stars. Share with your friends, family, colleagues, and head over to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the video version. Now, on to the rest of the podcast.
So yeah, what's been happening now on the international break? Some takeover talks have popped up, haven't they, Damon?
Same time every single year, mate. Same time every single year. I mean,
it's like rinse and repeat. It's a huge transfer talk of us getting this big target to kind of quell the masses, and then immediately after the transfer window closes, investment coming, or right preceding a transfer window. In December, I'm sure we'll hear more of this as well. Takeover talk also. But go right ahead to the latest rumors.
It's copy and paste. It's Control-V, Control-C, isn't it? That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, because it's the same every year. I mean, obviously myself and others at LFC Transfer Room write articles as well. So having to write the same thing over and over again for the last 3, 4, 5 years, it gets tedious. It gets tedious. We might as well just change the title and change a couple of the sentences in the articles and repost them and republish them. So I expected it, and do I believe it? I do believe there's people interested. Do I believe it? FSG will pick up on that and take it. That's a different question completely, isn't it, Rigo? That's completely different. We know what FSG really thought, so unless they get the right offer, if it's a full takeover or small minority, then I can't see them budging, can you?
Yeah, it would have to be something overwhelming, at least in the $4 billion range, I would say. At least to kind of get them to really think about putting the club up for full sale. For me, I don't know if it benefits them just because they have this huge, asset, if you want to call it, in Liverpool Football Club on the books, and that allows them to go ahead and then borrow in order to acquire other assets. And that's the name of their game. They just want to continue gobbling up teams and spreading out their tentacles as far as sporting wise. Well, we all know they're interested in purchasing an NBA team, and big rumor, of course, is perhaps the Las Vegas expansion franchise would be going to them, along with LeBron James, since there is that connection with LeBron James and FSG. So we'll see. It's something definitely that always comes up. It gets, as you said, it gets a little boring to talk about. Let me know when there's an actual, contract's almost ready to be signed. I would welcome some investment directly into Liverpool, not into FSG, because we saw how that played out before with Redbird Capital, where we thought we'd be finally reaping the fruits of our labor there and getting a big expenditure as far as transfer wise, but we haven't seen that actually happen. So we'll see. And who's the interested party? From what I heard, it's Qatar backed U.S. investment group, kind of like Clear Lake and Chelsea.
There was talk about the same ones that are going for Man United, because obviously the Glazers are holding out for 10 billion. I don't know how long they're thinking that's going to happen. They're up in.
Are they including all the debt? like smashing those numbers together in the sale price.
I mean, whoever takes on Man United has got a lot of rebuilding to do. Not just in terms of the club itself, the debt and the stadium, the squad. They're relying on Eric Ten Hag to produce on the pitch in the next 2-3 years. Hopefully, up in the value then it goes up. But the value has just gone down. 500 million, it's just gone down.
Since they said they were pulling the club off the shopping room.
I mean, they're supposed to be smart businessmen, and you can tell that they don't know nothing about football. If they
aren't they?
The decline.
But aren't
not
they?
really. No, not really. I mean, taking over Man United is one bad decision anyway. So, I mean, it's just I think it's just going from bad to worse for the Glazers.
Like you say, you're tired of writing those FSG takeover talks. The stuff with Man United, it's like on a almost monthly basis as far as the roller coaster that their fan base seems to be going through, and the same issues that keep cropping up since Sir Alex Ferguson hung them up, right? It's the same issues, but now we have the added other issue of some criminality perhaps as well. That we won't dive too much into that because again, this is a Liverpool.
I've been mentioned Sir Alex Ferguson though, mate. I think that's the greatest assist I've ever seen in football.
What? The greatest assist you ever seen in football? What's that?
Alex Ferguson bringing in the Glazers. That is the greatest assist I've seen in football. I've seen some great assists in my life, but that is up there, right there, in the top 5.
And every time things get a little too hectic, he always seems to pop around, come in also to kind of calm things down. So will he be making appearances the next couple of weeks?
I feel sorry for him. I kind of feel sorry for him. I can't stand him, but I kind of feel sorry for him. I mean, his health is not going to take too much. Having to go into Man United training ground every like once a year. I mean, it's basically like a John Henry visit, isn't it? That's what he's doing. Like, I mean, John Henry comes to Anfield once a year, so Alex Ferguson does the same for Man United at the moment. And I don't know what he says to them. I mean, he's like, "I'm back again."
Remember me when we used to win things?
I mean, what can he say to them? He's not the manager. It's just I think it overrides what the manager is as well, because they should be looking at to the manager that they've got now rather than the man to come in. If that makes sense. Anyway, on to a proper club and a proper team.
Yes. Let's change that topic real quick because it gets really dark and foreboding on the red side of Manchester. So on for takeover talks too. Obviously, a huge topic of conversation with the transfer window expiring on the Premier League side and Europe across the board, and more recently, the Asian transfer window or the Saudi League transfer window closing as well. You kept on hearing up until the last day, Mohamed Salah, they're dropping this offer, they're putting in that offer for him. Will Liverpool sell? And Sky Sports, among other media entities, were kind of, I felt, just kind of cheerleading that possibility and kind of wishing for it to happen. And I think it's for a very obvious reason. Mohamed Salah, arguably best Premier League player for the last 5-6 years, consistently produces, but always seems to not get his proper due from not only rival fans, our own club sometimes, our own club supporters sometimes as well, and not to say the least the referees. But your thoughts on that? Mohamed Salah, is he properly valued across the football world?
Simple answer, no. If I'm honest, including rivals, there's some rivals that giving the P's that deserves, but Arsenal fans saying Saka's better. Some people saying that he's not the best right wing in the world. Some people saying he's not in the best 11 in Premier League history. The Egyptian king Mohamed Salah is on another planet. Let's get this straight right now. For me to give the highest praise I can for Mohamed Salah is this: he's second behind Gerrard in terms of the Liverpool players I've ever watched in my life. Obviously, I wasn't alive to see the Kenny Dalglish. I wasn't alive to see Kevin Keegan. I saw the last part of Ian Rush, the last part of John Barnes. I couldn't see all of it, obviously. I've heard stories through my father and myself, but the people I've watched and have the pleasure of watching. Gerrard is a different level. You know, Gerrard's carried the team on his back, but Mohamed Salah is second behind him, and he can challenge him in terms of the greatest Liverpool Premier League player of all time. That's the height.
That's how the heights that he's reaching.
For me to even think that right now, having seen what I've seen with Gerrard, having grown up on watching Gerrard, I couldn't imagine a player that's close to him. You know, watching him and thinking, you know, are we ever going to get a player as good as Gerrard? Obviously, Suarez in terms of ability was that good,
but too short-lived at this point. Right now,
yeah. But Mohamed Salah,
7 years of Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed Salah. I mean, consistency. It's just everything you need in a big player. He has delivered. Even when he's been poor last season, he had a poor season. His number.
But was it even poor? I don't think. He carried offensively. He carried the brunt of the work. It wasn't his best season, but we had it was crap all around.
There was reasons for him being poor because obviously the midfield was, you know, at best dog crap.
But like his counting stats still supersede anyone else at his position.
Exactly that. So. I mean, people talk about Rashford having like the world this season. I don't know what they thought. I think he had a good couple of months. But he had like a Lingard stint, didn't he? But even Rashford's numbers can't keep up with Mohamed Salah's numbers when Mohamed Salah's poor. Mohamed Salah, you don't see a right winger hitting these numbers regular. And not only is he good in terms of stats, and you can throw stats all the time out. Super big will be a tapping merchant. But this guy performs on the highest of levels. He performs in big games. Go back to Manchester United games. Go back to Merseyside derbies. Go back to Champions League matches.
Against City as well.
He turns up. Yeah, he turns up. The goal against City, where he floored them all on the floor. Not many players can do that in world football. Mohamed Salah did it. And he did it. And he's done it again against City. That one way, I think he turned Cancelo, didn't he? A long ball at the top. So he performs in every single big game.
That pretty much was the end of Cancelo's Manchester City.
Yeah, that was it. That was basically a P45 moment. That was P45 moment. And the slander I see, not just online, I see through rival fans talking about it, through things like radio and media. It just doesn't get the praise that he deserves. When people talk about the greatest Premier League 11, and obviously Ronaldo is going to be up there. You know, he won a Ballon d'Or at Manchester United. But in terms of consistency throughout the Premier League, and this is what I don't get right. When it becomes to the Gerrard sort of Scholes, sort of Lampard debate, rival fans like to throw out, "Oh, Gerrard's not done. He's not done it. He's not won this, won that." But when it comes to Salah, his trophies don't count, and the time he spent in the Premier League don't count. They say, "Oh, Ronaldo had a better season here and there." It's, if you look at it as a whole, Mohamed Salah has been a better Premier League player than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
I think Cristiano Ronaldo.
His numbers, both in goals and assists.
It's the whole consistency of it all in terms of Premier League. If Ronaldo stayed in Premier League, then maybe it'd be a great debate. But looking at the wingers in the Premier League, you know, obviously it was a different era back in when Giggs and Beckham and Overmars and Pires and Ljungberg was dominating the Premier League. And the wingers play differently now. But in terms of like your Hazard, players like that, Mane, obviously coming through, Mahrez, as much like Ronaldo, Nani, players like this, Robin, Salah tops them all.
Definitely.
And if I'm not just talking about stats, I'm talking about everything, absolutely everything.
Well, he has the trophies to back it up, big goals to back it up, and I think he's adding more of a playmaking to his game as well. I think his assist numbers have been outstanding. He's definitely formed great chemistry with Darwin Nunez there as well, and it's these first four matches are looking good, barring against Chelsea when he got pulled off of the pitch a little bit early to his liking. Of course, he never wants to come off, and kind of got upset there, which we neither of us like. That kind of reaction. That's kind of left for the locker room, in my opinion, to kind of voice that opinion. But
I get it though. I do get it though. Like when
it's a tie game. Our most dangerous player gets taken now. To me, it doesn't make sense. We were questioning it on our group chat as well. Like, why is he pulling Salah out? But obviously, Ben Doak is a dangerous player also. But he's not Mo Salah, and pretty much no one in world football is a Mo Salah. You'd be very hard pressed to name better right wingers than our Egyptian king.
And this is why when it comes to replacing him, it's all right saying, look, I absolutely love Ben Doak. I think he's going to be an absolute talent. He's potentially world class. That's how good I think Ben Doak is. But potential is such a hard thing to rely on as well. I mean, you're not going to replace Salah straight up the back. There's only probably
it's not a one-to-one thing. It's a total team effort as far as replacing the goals and assists that he creates. And as far as the danger man that Mo is, you're not going to replace that. There aren't many players in world football that can do what he does. Obviously, he's going to start slowing down at some point. 31 years old now, and he's not going to play forever. And you are going to have to look to replace him. But in my opinion, with all this transfer talk, I'd be looking to extend them for at least another year or two. I don't know what you think on that subject, but I'd rather extend Mohamed Salah, let him keep pushing those records that he currently has, let him break records that he hasn't broken yet, and let him just pretty much almost retire as an all-time Red. I think he'll always be able to go to the Saudi League if that's still viable, and whenever time he wants to go, that's always an option there for him. But
I think it all comes down to timing, Rigo. I think it all comes down to timing. It's like if we were to have a good season this season and we look promising again for next season when we make Champions League, then there's something there for him to push next season. Go win the Champions League, go win the Premier League. If we look ready to win the Premier League right now, then it's all about ambition. Because if we still look miles off City, where we were last year, then why should he stay? He wants to stay to win more and to be, add to his legacy, add to his record, like you just said. If that doesn't look likely, then I can see him leaving next season. But why can't it look likely? Because if we can keep up with City this season, whether we go win it or not, at least challenge. And show that we are here to challenge. We are here. We can win this league. Go on into Champions League next season as, I won't say one of the favourites, but a likely candidate of winning either that or Premier League next season. Why would Mohamed Salah want to leave?
Exactly. I think you're at the best league in world football, on one of arguably the best teams in world. Well, not arguably, one of the best teams in world football.
The best club in the world. Let's be honest.
Well, yes, that's why we're both Liverpool fans. But if you're just arguing it in general, as far as any footy fan, that they can't tell us no as far as where Liverpool stands. So why would he leave? Money. Again, he's not like he's paid something a measly sum. He's our highest paid player, obviously, and that shows how much we value him. There is a limit to what FSG and Liverpool will do as far as the salary is concerned, but that's something that he obviously understands also. So why would he go? I just think, as you said, he needs to see, hey, we're constantly adding players, we're ambitious to win, and kind of have to make the lifting a little bit lighter on his end as well, because he is going to start slowing down a little bit. But
that's all the players want. That's all the players want. These players, like we've said it before, they've got short careers. They want ambitious owners and ambitious board behind them to give, they want players in. Virgil van Dijk's come out and said he wants players in. Players in. So it just shows you.
We need more than one or two, and then obviously we saw Endo and then Gravenberch, his Dutch teammate, come in as well. So, but obviously we still need more. On this episode, we won't focus on transfers really at all because the window has just shut. But we both agree that we definitely need more, hopefully in January as well. But yeah, I would extend them. How about you? Would you extend them or look to sell them?
I try to extend it, but the thing is, we're selling him, right? And people said to me, "Look, you take 200 million," but I wouldn't, because how can you be guaranteed that 200 million goes back into squad investment? It doesn't. Not with FSG. FSG will probably take a 100 million cut of it, put it into whatever they want to do.
I mean, yeah, they'll put it into a stand or something, but at least they don't take the money out. They'll put it back into the club, but
they'll
in different ways. You know what I mean?
They'll do it somehow. They do it somehow. They don't take it directly out of the club, but they do use Liverpool as a base of, we can get money out of this and we can learn this, and they're basically users. They do use the club as a stepping stone elsewhere, but
yeah, for PR and all that other stuff, because that home loan business again. The club paid for everything. There's nothing FSG did that came out of their pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they might have lent us, but it all goes back into their pockets.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, the Mohamed Salah thing, it's difficult. I'd want to see how Dirk does maybe this year in the Europa League, because again, like I said, it's hard to replace Salah. So if he's willing to step up and be counted for this season, then fair enough. Depends what money comes around as well. If I knew that the entire team money, let's say it's 200 million was again offered next year, and all the money would go back into squad investment, then it'd be a cushion blow. I won't be happy, but I'd be content.
Yeah, like I don't see Mo going out like that though. That's the thing.
No,
I
think
he's too driven for me. Like he wants that recognition. Like he wants, at the end of the day when you're taking a tally, he wants to be able to say, I did this.
He's got plenty of time to go to Saudi, by the way. He's got plenty of time to go to Saudi. Like I said,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he can play until he's 40. He's still 31. Stay another 3-4 years at Liverpool and then close it out over there.
I think he's still in his prime because, like I said, he's not a normal 31-year-old. He's like a 20-year-old, 26-year-old in the way he keeps himself fit. So I think he still could have a 3-4 years at a top level, and then go get his
not just his professionalism, the shape he keeps himself in, his ability to avoid injury is just something absolutely remarkable. Like to put it in the comic book perspective, he's like the Egyptian Logan, Wolverine. Kind of has the same like facial, facial and body hair
He's
type.
Just the Terminator. He's the Terminator. He's always, I'll be back, and he never goes. So he'll get his deserved move to Saudi. He'll get his P's over there, and he'll be treated like an absolute god over there, and fully deserved as well, because he's taken Islamic football to a different level as well. What he's done for Muslims and Islam around the world is incredible, and that culture as well as a whole is just incredible. I mean,
Sadio Mane as well, obviously.
Mane again, another absolute.
There's quite a few. It's not limited to Mohamed Salah, but
there's loads.
I know where you're going with it. As far as hierarchy is concerned, Mohamed is probably would be the face of that league if he probably went there. As far as
I speak to Abdul Rahman from The Athletic. I've interviewed him once, and we spoke about the impact of like Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane in terms of on Muslims in Premier League, and he's a Man United fan. His Twitter or X profile picture is Mohamed Salah, and he's a Man United fan. That's the levels of what impact Mohamed Salah has had on this Premier League and what he has in terms of the Islamic community, because there's going to be kids in his Islamic community looking up to Mohamed Salah, looking up to Sadio Mane. Great people off the pitch as well, by the way. Not just on the pitch. Great role models off the pitch, going to mosques and Sadio Mane going back to his own country and building schools, and Mohamed Salah doing what he does for like mosques and things like that. They're incredible role models to have in the Premier League as a whole. This is why I'm so surprised that Sky Sports were trying to push him out so much, because what a poster boy he is for this Premier League.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's not treated as such, really. But he definitely does not get the star treatment from the referees. That's for sure.
Oh, which Liverpool player does?
Well, yeah, you're right.
I mean, Andy Robertson had to take an uppercut one game, and still, he had to take an uppercut. It's take a KSI.
Listening to Ludacris before the match. And
it was UFC, wasn't it? UFC elbow. That's what it was. It was a freaking John Jones UFC elbow. That's what it was. And then Van Dijk has
Virgil getting an additional match penalty. Like, come on, and 100K fine. Like,
and that referee didn't get reprimanded for elbowing Andy Robertson on purpose. I mean,
like it's. Let's just be prepared as the season drags along that it's just gonna keep happening, man.
I've expected it all time, mate. It's been happening for 30 years. Referees in this country, 30 years, have been the worst I've ever seen in my life. And what VAR's done, by the way, I'm sick of this scapegoating.
They don't even use it. They don't even use it. It's like, well,
it's
why
exposed them.
Not?
It's exposed them, mate. It's exposed them because they're seeing the same video as us. How can? Have you heard the audio when they're talking about the Wolves situation with Onana? And the reason why they didn't give it is because the Wolves player didn't get the ball. I mean, that is ridiculous.
He got clobbered on the way to the ball.
To hear that, right? To having to hear that and that audio there, to me, says either these referees are so incompetent they shouldn't be officiating this league. They shouldn't be officiating at grassroots, or they're corrupt. And either answer is the worst answer you could possibly think of being a Premier League referee. And it's weird. You can have 100 people watch that same video. The one person out, 99 of them will say it's a penalty. The one person that doesn't say it's a penalty happens to be in charge of the video. Make it make
like,
sense.
nah, you don't need to take a look. You don't have to take a look. It's all good. It's all good. And then I think Mike Dean was on some show and came out and said that during his career also he's not reversed decisions because he didn't want to make the referee on the pitch look bad. Like, that has to happen also. Like, it's still happening, and there's can we? The Premier League is great at doing transfers and gobbling up from other leagues. Why can't they do that with refs? Is there a law or anything like that other refs can't come?
They can't be corrupt with the refs. Well, they can, really. Other leagues are bad enough as well. I mean, if you go back to the Champions League and European competitions, referees have been bad in that as well.
Anthony Taylor
in fact, they've been done for corruption. Yeah. Likes of Italy and things like that. It's just there needs to be a big change of football in terms of how it's officiated, especially with VAR. I think different people need to be in charge of VAR, not referees themselves, because when they're looking after the friends, as Mike Dean said, what is the point? What is the point in having that? Then that's just going to be clear bias, officiating and making the wrong decisions when that shouldn't be happening at the highest levels, because the repercussions of teams losing points could mean relegation. Relegation could mean jobs lost at that club to normal people like me and you. And miss point out a title. It's massive money and massive losses in terms of personnel as well. Because, like I said, when people are losing jobs, like normal people, everyday people are losing jobs at a club because they've got relegated for a couple of VAR decisions, but there's no repercussions or no accountability for these referees, then something needs to be done, mate. Because missing one match, go on holiday for a weekend. You can have a break away. Congratulations for your mistake. You know what I'm saying? So where's the accountability?
They completely messed up and caused the loss. Man United somehow won again by this decision, but go hang out in Ibiza for a week, for a weekend, I should say.
That's your punishment.
Madness.
Jesus. At least they might see Josh Schmacked over there. So going on from Mohamed Salah then, Rigo, we said every single week, being the new podcast, You'll Never Talk Alone podcast, we will give it a little bit different, and we'll add some games in there and
trying to have fun.
Let's have fun, yeah. Because you don't just want to hear news all the time, and you're bored of hearing the transfers or lack of transfers sometimes. You're bored of hearing Man United fans talking about Salah when they don't have a good decent winger in themselves. Let's go into this week's game then, Rigo. This week, based on internationals, I came up with it.
For an international break, we have to pick an international squad, and each of us is gonna take turns picking our players. You have one player per nation limit, and
Liverpool players though, mate. Liverpool Premier League players. All-time Premier League players. Liverpool players only.
To make it a little bit more difficult, we can't repeat players amongst ourselves.
So, what I want the listeners to do, or whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that, Google, any listening device you're on, what I want you to do is leave a comment and see which team you agree with, which team you prefer between mine and Rigo's, who gets the better team. Maybe give us your favourite team from one player from each country as well. Basically, it's Liverpool's all-time Premier League team, but only allow one player from each country. So, if I was to pick a Spanish player, I can only pick one, and then there's a Spanish player for Rigo. Rigo will know his Spanish players, I'm sure, because he is Spanish in him. So, Rigo, I'm gonna go. Who's gonna go first here? Who's gonna go first? Who would like to? You know what?
All right, odds and evens, or rocks, paper, scissors.
Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Let's do it. It might not work for Spotify, this guy, but we will tell you what we got.
We'll call it out as it happens. We'll call it out as it happens. All right. Best out of three?
Just do one.
All right.
Do one. Let's do one.
Rock, paper, scissors, say shoot. All right. I threw paper, Damon threw scissors, and Damon cut through my paper, so Damon gets first pick.
Right. I will pick. My first pick will be. I'll go Stevie because Stevie is just my boy. Yeah, I'll go Stevie. So that's my England one gone. I could no longer pick any England ones.
All right. So
Rigo will now pick two players, as he will go first the next turn, and then I will pick two players, and he'll pick two players until we run out.
All right. So for myself. All right, you did Stevie, and we got to go specific for position. So midfield for you, center mid.
You'd have to go for center mid, yeah. But you'd have to go for center mid now. You can go whatever position you like.
I don't have to go for center mid, and I don't have to go England. I'll just go with who I want. Well, we were just on the topic, so I'm going to go with Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed Salah, and you know what? I knew that would come in. Right. So your pick again then. So you can no longer have any more Egyptian players. That's
it. Egypt's off the board for me. All right. And all right, this one's a little more difficult here. All right, but this is very interesting though. All right. For my next pick, I will go with, since England's off the board, I'm not gonna pick my English player.
No, you can go English, but
no, I'm not gonna pick it just yet because I know that's off.
All right, yeah, you can wait out. Yeah, good idea.
So I will go with Sadio Mane, Senegal.
Wow, that's a nice win combination then. I mean, anyone that has that win combination will win the league. Mane, Salah.
It's worked before.
My next pick. I will go for Mr. Uruguayan striker. Not Darwin Nunez, unfortunately. I will go for Luis Suarez.
That's a great pick right there.
Up top. And I will go for...
But now we just trade picks, no? How are you going to do double? I got the double pick because you had first pick.
Yeah, so I'll be going first the next round. So it'll be double pick until we run out then.
All right, fine.
Yeah. But you'll get the last single pick, I think it is. So I picked first, you get the last single pick.
You have to pick a manager at the end of it.
Yeah. Could do. Next, because there's so many people from this country that's played for Liverpool, I might just go all out now. I put Alisson Becker in net.
Bastard.
Is that yours?
That was going to be my next one if you didn't.
You've got a few Brazilian options, though, if I'm honest. But yeah, I will get Alisson Becker in net. I'm having a piece of that. So you've got two picks now. Here you go.
All right, two picks for me. Well, I'm going to go with our big Dutchman, Virgil van Dijk.
He was in there for me. So VVD. So that's your Dutch gone. That's your Holland or your Netherlands gone. We've got good then, Egypt and Senegal. 'Cause there's not really many others apart from what Juve.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm thinking. I should have probably held off, but
and Juve for Diop,
you might have pipped them from me. All right, I will go. Oof. See, this is a hard decision. This is because I got a lot of options for this one. All right, my friend. I'm gonna go with Andy, Scotland.
Robbo, wow, that's a good one. I like that pick actually. I mean, he was in your top 5 last week instead of Sadio Mane.
I know.
I mean, let's not forget that.
I made it back for picking Sadio second.
Not forget that. My next pick. I will go Spain. I will go Xabi Alonso.
See, I knew. This is where I knew it was going to be a little tricky for me because I didn't know who to pick out of Spain, and obviously now I know who I'll go with Spain. Luis Enrique, obviously.
You're going to go Thiago Alcantara, right? Yeah, that's.
No.
Now where do I go? I ain't got a. So I can't go in. I will finish my midfield off and I'll put Mascherano in there. I will get the.
All right. So Mascherano.
Midfield from 2007 in there.
There you go.
Gerard Alonso Mash.
Not bad at all. All right. Double pick for me. Okay. So for my next pick, I will pick Fernando Torres.
That is a very good pick. Oh, right. Torres, Spain, not Thiago. Ooh.
That's
I like that.
Intriguing front line there.
I like that. It is. That is pace. That's certainly pace.
All right. And, with all my picks, I haven't picked a midfielder yet. You notice?
No, you're going to have Jordan Henson, aren't you?
It leaves me a little hungry for a midfielder.
You know what? You've got some good options, though.
I'm going to go with Dominic Szoboszlai.
Whoa. Big Dom.
He's outstanding on international break.
I was not seeing that one coming. It's a good shout from Alex.
Recency bias.
Yeah.
Outstanding. I think a great pick there before he gets snagged. I'm thinking, best high-powered team right now.
Right, I'm going to put a centre-back in now. I'm going to put Sami Hyypiä in because I need a decent centre-back.
And you go for centre-back?
Sami Hyypiä. And before Van Dijk, he was our best centre-back in Premier League. So, yeah, Sami Hyypiä is going to be my centre-back at the moment. I think Gerard's getting the team he deserves here as a whole.
It's looking pretty good. A lot of familiar faces.
And I've got one more pick, haven't I? I need to pick my wingers here. I'm trying to think. I've got Diaz. Salah Mane, best 2 wingers. So I can't go John Barnes because I've already got an English player.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go Steve McManaman. I've got an English player. We don't have that many good wingers. So I'm going to go Diaz on the left.
Lucho Diaz, great pick.
I'm going to go Diaz on the left. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yep, your picks. Do you want to go for your team so far? We've got Robbo left back, Van Dijk centre back, Szoboszlai in midfield by himself, Salah, Mane, and Torres up front. And I have got Alisson Becker in net, Hyypiä leading the back line, Gerard Alonso, Mascherano, Diaz, and Suarez.
Not bad. All right, for myself, I'm gonna give. We'll give Dominic a little bit more assistance in midfield. And I'm going to bring back Emre Can.
That is a left field pick. You know what? I think you've done the wrong thing there in terms of midfield. I would have gone Harman. I'm going to go to midfield. Chan, on his day.
I like Can. I'm very partial to him. He's current captain of Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, he's on his day. He's a very good player. Very good player.
Has skills on the ball.
See,
all right, I got one more.
I think you've got an easy pick somewhere because I can't get him.
Yeah, my easy pick is going to be Trent at right back.
Yeah. Are you using that now? Or are you leaving it?
Yeah, I'll use it now. Might as well. I don't want him dropping too far down the list.
So you basically got the near enough the back line we've got now. You're missing a certain Frenchman, who I might put in now. Because
I should have gone for him. Damn it! And kept my England card.
I can't use Carragher. I didn't like Skill. Didn't like Lovren. Really, we've never had a good centre back. So I will go Konate as my partner for.
Great pick. One I should have beat you to. Honestly, that's.
Yeah, I'm happy with that centre back pattern.
I screwed myself up with that one.
I think you've only got one centre back you can put in, really, from what I'm thinking of. In terms of being decent, because you can't have Carragher now.
And then I could bring somebody's best friend.
No. Well, you can. You lose. Yeah, do it. Go on. Get it picked.
You're still picking. I think you have one more pick. You have one more.
Right, I do. Right. Right back, left back. I will go. I want to get this right winger done. So I can leave right back and left back. So you pick them. Right winger. This is difficult. Right winger. I can't even go Maxi Rodriguez because I've already got an Argentinian.
What was that?
I can't even go Maxi Rodriguez because I've already got Mascherano.
Yeah, you're cooked with Argentina.
Bands. Ooh. Hang on a second. I might. This is a random one. But I might go Jason McAteer because when it was him and McManaman on wings, they used to be really, really good in the 90s. So obviously McManaman the better player, but McAteer didn't do a bad job. I can't think of another right winger though.
That's too many options there for you.
Not really. They weren't really had decent wingers apart from Salamane coming through. Diaz now.
And
I could possibly go Gakpo on the right, but I
don't
don't
your England card, so no.
There's Ryan Babel. He played on left, but even he's not that good. I might just go Jason McAteer. I'll go McAteer, and then if I think one later on, I'll just pick myself. It's fine. McAteer. Jason McAteer.
All right, for myself to pair up with Virgil, I'm gonna go with. It's a toss-up right now. Do I go Dejan Lovren to give Salah his buddy? I could go with Joe Matip.
There's another person I'm thinking of.
Martin Skrtel.
We can have him. All right. It's Kyriakos, by the way. You can have Kyriakos.
Who?
You can have Kyriakos.
All right. I think I might go, just to make it easy for myself. I'll go Joel.
Matip. Oh, hang on a second. Does he count as Cameroon? He'll count as Cameroon, won't he?
Still need a mid.
All right, go for it. You've got a centre mid and a goalkeeper left.
Well, for goalkeeper, I'll go Jersey Dudek.
Dudek. Yeah, you can't go wrong, can you? No.
Can't go wrong there.
Right. I've got.
That's it. You get your one pick, and then I got my one pick. Right?
No, I've got a right back and left back to choose, and then you've got your last pick then.
Okay, and then I get first dibs on coach.
Yeah, you do. I wonder who you're gonna pick. So I'm gonna go Risa left back, and at right back I can't go Trent. I can't go. I just realised when I picked McAtee, I can't go Steve Finnan now. So I will go left field. I'll go Marcus Babbel at right back. See, he could play right back and centre back. Marcus Babbel.
Babbel for right back. And who was your left back?
John Anarisa. Now you've got a centre midfielder and you've got Jurgen Klopp, obviously. Oh, hang on a second. Can you have Jurgen Klopp? You've got a German.
Wait. Wait. No. Can't do that. That wasn't laid out in the ground rule.
Right, shall we just say all right then. For manager, after we'll have anyone.
All right, for center mid.
It would be interesting though, you had to pick one without, because you wouldn't be able to have Rafa either, because Rafa's Spanish.
Yeah, I know. So
you wouldn't be able to have Hodgson, your favourite.
I wouldn't have a manager. Well, you wouldn't have a manager either.
No, Brendan Rodgers. You can have Brendan Rodgers. I can have Kenny Dalglish.
I wouldn't be able to have. Isn't he Scottish? I have Andy.
Scottish. I could have Dalglish. You could have Brendan Rodgers, Northern Irish.
All right, center mid.
Okay, no. You could have Houli here. He's French. You haven't got any French players. Centre mid to play alongside Soboslai and Emre Can.
I'm such a dummy. Of course, Fabinho, dude. I don't have Brazil. Duh.
No, you don't. I thought that. Yeah.
Right there.
Fabinho. Brazil, yeah. So Fabinho and Gordon Klopp, free coach.
And of course, Jurgen Klopp as my coach.
Klopp.
I think I might have it, bro. I think my team might beat yours.
No, not with that midfield. My midfield walks over your midfield in 2 Sundays. Right, Klopp, I might have.
Well, yeah, you have Luis Suarez too. Shit.
You know what? I'm gonna have Benitez. I'm gonna have Rafa. Give him this team. I'm gonna have Rafa B. Rafa B as my coach. Give him that team. Give him the team that he deserves. We're gonna win the league. Right, so I'll go through them then. Rigo's draft team. All-time Premier League Liverpool team. 1 player from each country. Give me your thoughts in the reviews. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Please let us know which team wins. But I'm going to count them up at the end of the week, and let's see who comes out on top. So Rigo has gone Dudek in net from Poland. Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, Matip and Van Dijk at centre back. So that is basically a title-winning defence anyway, because he's won a title. A midfield, a funny midfield actually, quite defensively. I think Soboslai has all the attacking minded on his side there. Fabinho, Can, and Soboslai in midfield, and then a front 3 of Salamane, Torres, which is quite frightening if I'm honest. And Jurgen Klopp as manager. I think Jurgen Klopp could be a gem right there in terms of you. I think
Jurgen with that midfield works. That midfield works. That midfield runs. But
I think the midfield does let you down. I think midfield. Obviously, you've got a title-winning defence. The attack's unreal. I'll go for mine now. Mine is Alisson Becker in net, Marcus Babbel at right back, John Hanarita at left back, Konate and Hippier in centre back positions, Gerrard, Alonso and Mash in the midfield, which was 2007, I think, 2007, 2008 midfield, but obviously didn't have the players around him. McAtee on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, Luis Suarez up front, and the tactical master himself, Rafa Benitez, as manager. That is an interesting... That's an interesting one. I
think your last few picks failed you.
Yeah, because I was running out. I think I was just running out. I mean, McAtee, I couldn't. There's not many wingers. I should have thought about the wingers first, but you know what? I'm happy with that. McAtee is a decent player. He's not Salah or Mane, but he's a decent player. I think my midfield could win that. Be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what the comments say. It'd be interesting to see what the reviews say. Please, Team Rigo or Team Demo, which one wins?
And what's the final score line?
Up against Benitez. I mean, it will be an interesting game. That would be an interesting game. For the last 10 minutes, the last 10, 15 minutes of this podcast, we'll be going on to games, into proper games, football games, Liverpool football games. We've got Wolves coming up this weekend, and then we've got Lastlands next midweek. I think next week, midweek. By the time we record.
This weekend, Saturday the 16th, we go against the Wolves at 12:30 p.m. England time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then on the 21st, mere 5 days later, 5:45 p.m. on English time, and at 12:45 p.m. Eastern against LASK.
See, we record this on a Monday or a Tuesday, but next week, I know next week we record it early. We still have to do the preview to the last now because it don't come out until the Friday podcast. So that's why we're doing the last preview now, along with the Wolves game.
Don't give them an explanation, man. Just go.
Hey, I think about my viewers, my friend. I think about my listeners. My listeners, my viewers come first.
All right. So looking at Wolves currently sitting in 15th place, mere 3 points to their name. They were unlucky against Man United. That was the refereeing controversy there with Onana to not get a penalty shot. But a team in flux, definitely in financial straits. Manager left abruptly right before the season kicked off. 1 win, 3 losses. Why do they always give us these super early matches on coming out of breaks, man? I think this is one to trip us up. I'm afraid to wake up all dreary-eyed at 7:30-ish on a Saturday morning and seeing 1-0 Wolves. What do you think?
I mean, you'd be having your cereal, won't you? So, I mean, I hate the lunchtime kickoffs, but I hate the 5:30 kickoffs more. I think I tend not to win those. But last year it was the 12:30 kickoffs on it. The 12:30 kickoffs. Let me get one thing straight about these. There's no worse game to lose. There's no better game to win than these 12:30 kickoffs, because if you lose them, you've got nothing to look forward to all weekend. You're down. That's it. You're watching everyone else win around you. You win.
How am I supposed to go mow the lawn, Damon, after a loss like that?
With your teeth.
How am I supposed to cook breakfast for my family with a smile on my face after a loss? Tell me, Damon, how?
Well, you'll have to order it in, wouldn't you? I think you'll have to order it in. But there's no better game to win, though, is there, Rigo? There's no better game to win because, especially, I mean, it's early out. It's in the morning. You've got the rest of the day to just chill. It's a relaxing weekend. If we win that on Saturday against Wolves, 12:30 kickoff or 7:30 where you are, wherever you are around the world, it's a relaxing weekend. We can sit back, feet up, arms up, cup of tea at the side, watch everyone, watch Man United lose another game, watch Man City drop some points, watch Arsenal cry, and let's get on with the football. But if we lose it, it's a sad sight, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It puts proper dampener on the weekend, doesn't it? I mean, I don't want to look at the other results because anything from there doesn't make a difference if we've lost the game. So we need to get it off to a flyer on Saturday. We cannot go to last year.
I want a great weekend. So I think we win decent fashion. I think at least 2 or 3-0. What do you think?
We look like we wanted more at the beginning of the season. We said it the other day on the podcast, episode 1, that we failed to come out of the traps last season. We went behind, I think, 12 games in a row. And
we didn't get our point total to the 10th match last season of what we currently have now.
That's unbelievable.
Insane,
that
right?
Shows you. That shows you the difference between Henson and Szoboszlai.
Just that position alone. Wow. And we haven't even gotten into Henderson's, I don't even know if we'll give it any airtime, but Henderson's interview there, how salty he sounded. But just keeping it on topic to the Wolves. What do you think as far as our lineup will be? Just because, again, we are coming off international break. Our South American players will have maybe one training in before we kick off on Saturday. They have a much shorter turnaround and also a much longer flight as far as travel is concerned. So do you think any lineup changes will occur for Saturday's match?
Well, the fourth one with Trent in there. Trent's out, so it'd have to be. I mean, we can't even play Gomez at right back because Gomez will be centre back.
You could play him at right back, but again,
we could. But who's going to go centre back?
Kwanzaa would be our centre back third.
Wow, we're already on Kwanzaa as a starting centre back at the moment. We're knackered. Oh wow!
Still September.
I mean, it's only started going dark. And we're on to Kwanzaa at centre back. I mean, look where we've come already. Well, yeah, unless can we get Nathaniel Klein back at right back?
He's still like Crystal Palace.
That's a forced change, right? That's a forced change in terms of personnel elsewhere. I'd like to see Bajcetic or Thiago back in if they are fit. I'd like to see. I think Thiago probably best.
So Curtis didn't do enough to keep a starting spot.
I just don't want him.
I thought his pressing was incredible last game.
He had a good game. But when we've got Bajcetic and Thiago available, I'm sorry, Curtis, but you're not in.
Do they get thrown right into the starting lineup though? Wouldn't you kind of? Klopp has been pretty good with his substitutions. Like around minute 60, we are seeing 2 to 3 players coming onto the pitch. So it doesn't make more sense to give him
possibly. It depends how fit they are, though, doesn't it? It depends how fit they are. I could see him keeping it. I think the attack needs to stay the same. Nunez up front, even if he has trouble. We need to get him more on a hot streak and get his confidence up. If he can get a couple of more goals, then he could be onto a flyer this season. But I could see him keeping the same field because it didn't really go wrong. But I just love Bajcetic and Thiago. And I think if we get Bajcetic and Thiago in as quick as we can, I'll say blend them in, but get him into that team and get him ready for this season, then the better for us because these two are different level, I think, to Curtis Jones. I appreciate Curtis Jones a lot on what he does for this team, and I think he can be unbelievable.
One name not mentioned there by you, Harvey Elliott. Harvey's been
He's not
awesome
a midfielder.
Off the bench.
He's not a midfielder, mate. He's not a midfielder. I keep having this conversation with people about Harvey Elliott. He's not a midfielder. Is a number 10. I think he's number 10. He's better from the right wing than he is in centre midfield, by the way, because he does create a lot for midfield. But I think, like I said, is that centre midfield is that cam position. Play midfield.
If he's able to be free, I think he's great for us. But yeah, center mid doesn't really count. But I just want to. It's come up on the chat a couple of times. A few folks calling for Harvey to perhaps get a starting nod. But
it's the same people that saying Trent Alexander-Arnold should start in centre midfield as well, mate. So I don't know whether they want to play all these players.
I think, in my opinion, I think Harvey has found his niche at the moment in his role off the bench. I think he's been great off the bench for us in keeping us, getting our style of play and keeping possession and obviously in turning the match around. He helped tremendously against Newcastle as well. So I think off the bench, tremendous, and obviously as we progress through these through the tournaments, give him a starting nod here and there. But in my opinion, I think we probably keep that same midfield as our last match, and roll with Curtis as well as Dom and Maka.
Which midfield would you want, though, mate? Which midfield would you want if Bajcetic and Thiago were fit and were ready to go? Who would you bring in over Curtis Jones?
I would do Thiago and McAllister and Dominic. I just think that supremely intelligent players. I think the team doesn't get a sniff of the ball. Basically, I think we'll get 70% possession almost in that type of match, and both are pretty much tactically savvy enough to be in the right position defensively to kind of cut things out. And the Wolves really don't have super tremendous size, and they just lost Mohamed Nunez as well to Man City. So, I'd give that. I'd like to see how they would look together for sure.
They're always a tricky team to play against, aren't they, Wolves? Every time we play against, even though I don't think they're that good, I just think every time we play against,
they just give us a hard time. A couple of seasons ago, we were right after my son's gymnastic practice. We were out to grab a bite to eat right after, and I'm watching on my phone Liverpool against Wolves, and we had to have a last-second winner from Divock Origi.
Yeah.
And I'm there jumping in the parking lot, and my wife's just looking through the window. They're like.
And I remember that even the Premier League winning season, we beat them. I think they got an offside goal. I don't think that was the only proper VAR decision that went far as that season that I didn't agree with. I think it was onside. I think it's his armpit or his arm or something was offside, and I don't agree with that being offside. But other than that was a close game. I think we won 2-1 or 2-0 that game, but it was offside for who's that player that scored now? I can't figure who it was scored. It was the left winger at that point. It wasn't Jota. It was someone different. But like you said, they've lost Nunez. I mean, we took Jota off them. Jimenez. I just don't think that team that we should be fearing anymore. I think we should be, like you said, we should be making this comfortable.
Hey, I mean, Mateus Cunha, dangerous player. They do have options there as well. Neto's still good. Silva, Fabio Silva, I don't know if he'll ever put it together. Still a young player, obviously. They just lost Daniel Podence. He went back to Olympiacos.
And Ruben Neves lost Ruben Neves as well.
Ruben Neves, obviously captain of theirs for a number of seasons. Gone to the Arabian League also. So, team in flux, manager brand new. We should be able to capitalize and keep our undefeated streak going. And just tally these points. I think, obviously all the points are important, but just keep getting these wins. It's supremely important just to keep this momentum going, which will then lead us against our match midweek against LASK on Thursday, the 21st. Big thing for me in that is just no injuries. I think we should be able to put them away without much muss or fuss. Big thing is just injuries and giving guys time who haven't played that much. So Diogo Jota, I would, count on him to be a starter there.
Ben Doak. I'd like to see Ben Doak.
Ben Doak. So, yeah, I can't really give you a preview of LASK. I have no idea who plays on that team.
See, LASK
as we get closer.
LASK Linz, I think it'd be very interesting to watch that game because LASK Linz, like Salzburg in that league, and like the Austrian league as such, they're quite an attacking team. So whether they play like that against us is a different matter because they've not come up against anyone like us. LASK Linz have not really dominated Austria the way Salzburg have, but in the last few years they've come out of nowhere. They've pushed Salzburg pretty much every year. I know Strong Grats are pushing them now in the league, but LASK Linz have been Salzburg's main contender for the last 4 or 5 years. Rapid Vienna and Austria have had their time. Strong Grats have had their time, but it seems to be LASK that's come out of nowhere. So I think it will be. I think it'd be more an interesting game against LASK than it will against Wolves. I think Wolves should be comfortable. I think LASK can give us a game. But I meant a game as in head to head. I
feel the opposite of that, but we'll see. Hopefully, just 2 wins to recap for our next podcast. Actually, yeah, and like you said, actually we'll be heading right before the last match.
But we'll be talking about the last match because
we won't be talking about it, but
the recording will be
recorded right
before, but the release is afterwards.
Hopefully, after a win against the Wolves.
So if we look happy next Friday on episode 3, even though we might have lost against LASK, don't blame us because we record it on Monday. We'll be happy because we beat Wolves.
Definitely. So, So looking again to watching our Reds back in action. Glad the international break is almost over. A couple of days left, and again we have our next match on Saturday. got to keep the pace. Man City is leading. Is in first place, undefeated. We're in third currently with 10 points on goal difference. So got to keep the pace, and keep pushing.
Put the pressure on. I mean, that's what's so good about the early kickoff on Saturday. If we get the win again, pressure elsewhere. Let's relax.
Exactly. So, looking forward to it. I know all you listeners are looking forward to it as well. All right, Damon, you want to lead us out?
Well, that'll be all, everyone. My name is Damon. This has been Rigo. This has been LFC Transfer Room. This has been You'll Never Talk Alone. And please, if you are, whatever audio channel you are on, whatever audio streaming service you are using, please leave us a review, preferably 5 stars. If you want to give us 1 star, then at least give us a reason why it's 1 star, but please give us 5 stars and comment and just get involved with us, guys. Please make sure you vote either Team Rigo or Team Demo as well regarding the best 11 draft that we did earlier on. Leave a comment on the channel. What do you want from us? Do you want guests coming on now? What guests set up lining up in the future? But please just give us anything you want. Comments, opinions, feedback, anything you want. As long as it's...
We want this podcast to be your home as Liverpool fans to come to for a good listen and some good chat here and some companionship as far as Liverpool supporters. So we're here for you guys, and as always, you'll never talk alone.